All right, today's video is a little different. We're going back into the archives to bring you 3 champion level moves where we break them down in a way that you can dance them confidently on the social dance floor. You can see the 3 moves in the timestamp below, but before you leave a comment. Let us know which is your favorite video or favorite move. And then number 2, I'd love to know where you're from. By the way, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. You can probably find me. Someone has actually shown up from the YouTube channel at our studio while we're shooting videos on a Tuesday. Let's get rolling. In this video, we bring you a West Coast Swing Champions breakdown from Ben McHenry and Victoria Hank. What's up, gang? Brian B. and
Miss Megan
from West Coast Swing Online, and we are bringing you a Champions breakdown, which you are watching right here, where we take a high-level Jack and Jill pattern and break it down into a way that's leadable for us normal people. Cool? Okay, so here is what the move looks like, and then we'll go ahead and break it down. We have a 1, 2, 3, and 4, a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, a 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Cool? So let's talk about what this move is based off of. It's based off of a behind the back whip, where I would lead a whip for 1, 2 to go behind the back. Cool? So that is the base of the pattern. So what I need to do is basically lead a whip with my left hand to get Megan understanding that she's in a whip pattern, right? So as I lead that, I'm staying out of the slot to my left side. From here, I'm going to lead this with my left hand, but I'm getting my right hand ready as we go 3 and 4. I'm going to make sure I get Miss Megan on count 4. Now for the followers, you're going to do what I call pattern recognition, and I don't mean you have to understand this whole thing. You're looking for which base pattern the leader's leading. Is this a push, a pass, or a whip? You're kind of trying to identify that. So on 1, 2, the leader has led you into a whip. You're going to continue the whip for 3 and 4. At this point, I've got Megan dancing the whip back down the slot. I'm going to transfer to my right hand for 5. I'm going to go over for 6. At this point, we're going to start to create some away connection because we would normally be anchoring. But as I start to walk around, she's managing that connection away from me. This is count 6. We're going to walk 7, 8, 9, 10, and we're going to anchor 11 and 12. Now on the video, this is the part where Victoria walks on her, she knee walks around the side, and most of us aren't world champion West Coast swing dancers, but we can enjoy the pattern while standing upright. So again, we're going to go behind the back for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Miss Megan's headed down line, transfer for 5, 6. We're already starting to create some connection. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. If we look at that from the other side, again, the priority is to communicate the whip on 1, 2 while staying out of the slot to my left. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once Megan's going back down, I can start to change to my right hand for count 5. For count 6, we're both looking for some sort of connection as we walk around 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, knee walk being optional. So now let's look at the second part of this from the right to right hand hold. We're dancing, this is the part, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. And I think this is quite cool and very leadable. So base pattern we're looking at is a basic inside turn, right? This would be kind of a basic inside turn from that hand. Cool. If that's a struggle for you, don't watch this video. Go back and watch the beginner one. So we're going to dance 1, 2. From here, I'm going to lead this over and around for 3 and 4. And I'm going to stop Megan on me. I'm going to put that hand there to tell her she is done on count 4. Now I can turn back to face her as she anchor steps, anchor step. So from the follower standpoint, what do you think of Miss Megan?
I am just thinking about how when I get stopped right here, that means I'm going to stop this progression forward, and then I'm going to just resume my anchor backwards.
Cool beans. So let's look at that from the other side. And leaders, my priority is to 1, 2, lead the turn and stop her and turn back around. Now footwork wise, what might I do? Because this is a little tricky. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to turn away on 4. I think Ben kind of steps up in this area. I kind of like to go slightly away on 4. As long as she's stopped, that's my priority. We triple around. Think of this, guys, as like a sugar push. Leaders, guys, leaders. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I've set her back and set her anchor. Same thing here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I've stopped her progression down the slot, and I can either pick up this hand or I can fish this around. So the whole thing, let's look at it from this side. Behind the back whip. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. So in this video, we bring you a champions breakdown from Mad Jam with the powerful Hugo and Susan Kirkland. What's up, gang? Brian B.
And Miss Megan.
West Coast Swing Online. We're bringing you a champions breakdown. I love this one because it's a very cool move, but in our style, it has a base that's working underneath it and a couple of different variations that we can get to as long as we are past our beginner level. So the move as it's done here with the timing changes taken out of it would be something to that degree, right? But if we look at it, let's look at it from the other side. But again, there's a couple of different ways that we can get through this, leveling this up. So let's look at the base of it. It's really kind of a roll in, roll out, done from the leader's left hand to the follower's right hand. So the first part of this, we're going to walk 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm actually going to follow Miss Megan as we take her around the corner, 5 and 6, taking her down line like a rock and go. 7 and 8, we anchor 9 and 10. Let's do that one more time this side. So again, we're rolling in 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm stepping around the corner. I'm following Miss Megan to let her get to that right foot. Now we unwind her, not with an anchor step, but with a rock and go for 5 and 6. 5, and I'm taking her out for 6, prepping her down line so she's prepped and ready to spin. Triple step and anchor step. Let's look at that from the other side. So again, I want you to understand that even though there's an over the head and all that stuff, I have to understand this version of the pattern. So if you're a beginner, you just got to deal with a roll in and a roll out, but we're going to assume that you're at that position right now. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, getting Megan to the right foot. So I'm going to adjust my footwork. On the unwind for 5 and 6, 5 and 6, I'm going to take her down line onto her left foot. Triple step and anchor step. That's the first part of it. Second part of it, he's going to feed the hand behind the back. So I'm going to stay facing this direction. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, now it's a little bit more difficult. Before I could step with her to let her get on the right foot, but now I'm stepping away, so it's a little bit harder. Now I have to unwind her behind my back. Triple step and feed her to my right hand. Triple and anchor. If we look at that, is this the correct side? This is the, let's go from this side. You'll be able to see the hand feed behind. And then I'm going to have Megan talk about what she's feeling in there, because although the footwork is kind of basic for the follower, you got to pay attention to some things at a higher level. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So far so good. Megan, anything you're thinking about here? Should be normal.
I am thinking about staying connected and going all the way to my foot.
Cool, now we're gonna unwind. So because I'm taking Megan, I'm giving her that path, right? And you kind of saw me let go for a split second. And you might let go for a split second. It's difficult to pass that hand.
You're gonna look for the next connection possible.
Yeah, so we talk about the connections. There's 3 basic, I'm gonna backtrack for just a second. There's 3 basic connections in West Coast Swing. There's an away connection, there's a toward connection, there's also a rotational connection. And so because I've set Megan in rotation, she is in a more advanced way, because we learn forward and back in like beginner class, but this rotational one comes up much further up the ladder. So we roll in, right? Because she's rolling out, she's sent in this rotation. This is the direction I'm sending her into that hand. So the fact that, we're going fast, because we got more cool stuff to cover at the end of this. Right, we roll in, now she's unwinding and following that rotation, and she's stopping rotationally into that. She's prepped, off she goes. That's phase number 2, right? Because now we have to deal with the same connections that we had but behind the back. But of course, this is a champions breakdown. So the coolest version of it, he's got that hand over the top. Oh, this hand, there we go. This hand's underneath. This is the one driving it, same job. This left hand has to do the same job that we just did. Only this right hand goes 1, 2, 3, and 4 over my head and over Megan's head. Now everything's the same. Triple step and triple step. So to practice that, right, just baby step your way, that's the position we need to get to. We like this baby step drill. So again, she's rotating. You go, hey, I'm gonna do it from here. No, you're not, bucko, unless you have super long arms. So our bodies have to be close enough to reach over our heads. The other thing you're gonna find in these champion breakdowns is the athleticism, because maybe they're not perfectly spaced, but they're so flexible and good to find those spots. But yeah, 45th birthday coming up here. I gotta be close to Miss Megan to get that right hand over. Boom, boom, triple over the top, right? Woo, see what I'm talking about? Now we're gonna unwind, triple step. Let's look at that from the other side, and then there's one more cool thing that Hugo does. They do a lot more cool stuff, but one more thing that I think is very achievable for all of us. So as we roll in, 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? I gotta monitor this going over my partner's head. I let go, change behind the back, and we free spin, off you go. So that's level 3. The final thing he does is turn back over his left shoulder at the end. And they do it musically and stuff, and we'll cover a little bit of the idea of that. But what happens is he rolls in this way, he comes back across, and then he goes this way, an anchor step. Now if you notice, they did not, or actually, Susan did triples throughout. So a lot of times you'll find in these patterns, the follower tends to be a little bit more strict basic time with the footwork, of course with some advanced variations and timings that they use, but it's pretty clear underneath for the follower. The leaders tend to not follow those rules as clearly with the footwork, and so Hugo does not triple everything out, but I'm gonna do it in triples just to show you that those triples and the basics are happening underneath, even though you don't see it on the video. So 1, 2, triple step, triple step, triple step, and anchor step. So you can see that it's all there. I think, if memory serves, he just kind of boom, 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 boom. I think that's about what he does, right? So you don't see the triples, but you can feel it going on underneath. So in this video, we do a champion's breakdown with a leader's spin.
What's up, gang? West Coast Swing Online. Miss Megan here, and
Brian B, and we are bringing you a champion's breakdown. This is Ben Morris and Melissa Roots, and this is a leader's spin. And Megan was the one who pulled this out of the archives, and it's actually something I do all the time. Unlike all of the other cool moves that Ben Morris does, it looks like this. 1, 2, we do 2 spins and a ronde, and then we come out of it. Or you can do 6 if you want, or 8, or 10, or 12. So we do it one more time from the other side. Boom, boom, we do a couple of spins, a little ronde, and off we go. So here's how this is gonna work. I'm gonna do this from this side. So what I'm doing is I'm leading a 1, 2 of a whip and catching this hand to stop Megan. And then I'm gonna use this to work off of. And there's some spin things that we're gonna talk about and some resources, but let's just talk about the pattern first, then we'll talk about how to improve the spin. So we go 7, 8, or actually 1, 2 of a whip to catch that like palm to palm connection. And from here, I'm gonna step in a position that's comfortable for me to then flare this leg to create some energy for the spin. Cool, if we do it from the other side. This is the setup. I wanna get used to doing that position there. I wanna do it a couple times, boom, because there's a momentum thing that's going on where I have to stop Miss Megan there. And then from this position, I'm gonna get myself up and onto this foot, flare my right leg, do 2 spins, Ben does a ronde off of it, and then we're gonna walk to create a little bit of an away connection for an anchor. So let's talk about the leaders part of the spin. So we go 1, 2. Is there anything you think about when you get to the end of this?
just anchoring myself for you.
Yeah, so how can you tell the difference between a regular whip where I'm just gonna feed that back?
It flares out.
Flares out. So if you feel a little bit, this is a good thing from the followers. If you find anything that's slightly different from a normal lead, it should cause you to pay attention, right? So if I was leading a basic whip, there's not too much to this, right? You get that feeling all night long in your social dancing, but I'm actually kind of adding a little bit more oomph and a little bit of a flair there, and she feels...
And the handhold is different.
The handhold, right? Anytime something's different. So from here, leaders, if I just took Miss Megan out of the picture for just a second, as I get to this foot, right, two things I want to do. Number one, I'm going to be spotting Megan. So by spotting, I mean my eyes are going to pick Megan up as I'm turning and my head's going to return. So if I was spotting the camera, right, my body would be turning. Everything has left the camera. The last thing to come back are my eyes and my head. That's what we talk about spotting. That's going to help you stay focused and balanced. At least it's going to help stay focused and balanced and not dizzy. Cool? So that's the first thing I want to do is I'm going to have to think about picking up this spot for Megan. The second thing I need to think about is in an attempt to pick up the spot for Megan, I'm going to do this wrong. If I do my footwork here and I start to think about the spot and picking up Megan with my eyes, I might not get balanced over that foot. So I have to get good at getting balanced over that foot. And we've got a video directly on that. It's probably in the link in the corner below. The spins are my favorite spins and turns drill. You can also download the ebook and scroll through that, and it's got a bunch of videos for that. That'll help. So when I get here onto this foot, right, that's number one. I want to get up and onto that foot. Then I'm going to let this leg trail and pick up Miss Megan on the spot. Then just like a skater, fun fact, Miss Megan was a competitive ice skater for how many years?
15.
15 years, till she fell on her head. Did you fall on your head?
Yeah, 4 staples.
Dang, she's tough, right? So I get up here, I leave this flared, and then I'm going to close this side in to create the energy for the turn. And then he slows it down on an accent, just like a skater. I'm going to flare that out. Don't laugh at my technique, Miss Megan. Don't laugh. I know you're laughing. We'll actually link up a video of Miss Megan skating right now, so you know that I'm serious. She's legit. I suck. So we have boom, boom. I pick up the spot. I have 2 spins. And on the last one, I flare the leg to slow myself down, and I walk out of it. One more time. Pick it up, 2 spins, a sweep, and we walk out of it. And if you like moves like this, you will love our website, westcoastswingonline.com. I'll put the link right here. We break down dozens and dozens of these champion level moves over there. Second thing you might like is our West Coast Swing pattern tree chart. So this will show you how everything tracks back to the basic moves and will help you build out your patterns from beginner, intermediate, all the way to pro level moves. See you on the other side.